right, here is true story time. So, I have a realtor in the office, and she may be listening to this video right now. If she is, she knows who she is. A couple of weeks ago, we had a conversation, and there were two real life stories that kind of came from our conversations. Story number one is that because of my recent um, exposure to, open houses and doing open houses and it being a great way to get business, I just did a training on it recently. She decided to go host an open house. And um, when it seemed like she was not getting anything from that one effort, she actually got somebody later that came to the open house, reached out to her, and she actually got not only the fact that she was going to go buy a home, but there is always a chance, a pretty good chance, as a matter of fact, that that same client that attends an open house looking to buy a home has to sell a home to go buy that home. And that's what happened in this case. And so she was able to acquire a client that she was going to get two sides of two separate transactions from, right? I mean, person had to go list their home, so that was one side. Then the whole reason she walked through the open house, she wanted to go buy a home. So, and she made it a point, the agent made it a point to tell me that, that other agents need to listen to that advice because they absolutely do work. And so, listen, I am not going to steer you wrong um, with this kind of advice and coaching. I've said before, 99% of all of my recommendations come from my own personal experience. The other 1% come from you guys. And it's not more than 1% usually because the I've done a lot of it. Whatever y'all are trying, I've done. And so, but every now and then someone's out there doing something different. So that's the 1%. Second story, she also owns some investment properties and is just having a heck of a time getting them rented. And that is just how the market is right now in rental properties. And so um, as bad luck would have it, she got a flat tire that morning and found herself in a tire shop. And she had tried everything to get these things rented, post them in the MLS and work her network and all that. And so she figured, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to um, chat with the salesperson behind the counter at the tire shop and just see if they or need a rental property or they know someone that is looking to get a rental property to rent as a renter. um, and they did. And so I think it was one of these deals where the person wasn't going to be the renter, but they knew somebody. And so I then said, oh, you know what, that reminds me of a story. About a year ago, I was in a tire shop myself, waiting to get all four tires replaced. And I'm sitting there and I don't I don't have clients. But so I didn't do this. However, there was someone there who was a realtor, and I kind of came in on the tail end of her wrapping up with a conversation she was having with the salesperson behind the desk. And it was obviously to buy a home. And I looked outside and thought that I found her car because there was a magnet on the side of the car that I think said maybe Keller Williams or something like that. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's her. And so, um, but that conversation got to a point where just by the way they were interacting, she gave him her card. He said, "Oh, great, I'll give you a call." And so I remember thinking at that point, gosh, that good for her. I don't know if many people do that. And so when the agent in our office said that she had done just that, it reminded me of a similar experience that I had. So that is a great example of needing to almost kind of flip a switch and realize that these kind of offbeat, unique situations that you're in are usually hidden gems. And it doesn't hurt to just have a conversation and just say, hey, by the way, and your card is nothing. It's a throwaway. Have it all the time. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Tire Associate, I just want to make sure I give you this card. I'm going to take this card on the desk here that you guys have. If you ever have any real estate needs, let me know. You would be shocked at how many people, because you're in the right place at the right time, will say, oh, yeah, you know what? I actually do need to rent a property, come next month. Or my mom is looking to buy a property somewhere. If you didn't have those conversations, nothing would come of it. So just missed opportunities. So I wanted to pass those two stories, more like three stories, along to you to give you hope that there is money on the other side of potentially awkward conversations. Man, get yourself out of your comfort zone and start chatting with people. You never know where it's going to lead.